Hello, welcome to Spotlight, a glint of creative sunshine in an otherwise sunless summer.
Spotlight, brought to you by the Isle of Man Arts Council.
This evening, it's all about Snow White in Manx, as students from Bunskull Gilga take to the Peel Centenary Centre stage. Would you like to sit on the Arts Council? There's a chance. And 10 hours of punk. Remember, do get in touch with any creative, artistic endeavours you may be involved in, planning, hoping to create, or would really like to put in the spotlight. This programme: poetic, theatrical, musical, literary, ceramics, sculpture, drag, film, mime, social media, punk. Yes, why not punk? We don't do a lot of it, but why not? Lots of others I've probably forgotten. If I have forgotten, email me to remind me. spotlight@manxradio.com or Howard Kane with an E at manxradio.com. I'd love to hear from you. If you don't get in touch, I can't do anything. Without further ado, we're off to St John's, where students at the Bunskull are in final rehearsals for this year's original Manx musical extravaganza. Marvellous. Here we are then at Bunskull Gilga, just dropped down to enjoy some fantastic singing from this year's musical extravaganza. And with which class were you with?
We are Brastel Sneol, Snaefell class.
Snaefell class. And the production is?
Sneachta Ben or Snow White.
Marvellous. And your name?
Aileen Clegg.
I think we probably recognise your voice. Wonderful production. So just tell us a bit more about Snow White and in Manx Sneachta Ben.
That's it.
Get there yet?
Well, it's the traditional story, sort of, but we've relocated it in the Isle of Man. So we've got the Foxdale miners, who Snow White goes to live with when she's escaped from the Queen. We've got a Bagain who helps us out now and then, and we have got a Mother Do who saves Snow White in the forest.
So this has all been written by what, you and Annie?
Me and Annie, yes. It's actually the first musical that Annie and I wrote together. So it's on its third turnaround.
That's amazing. So the music's original, the words have all been done, and as you say, you've tweaked the original to sort of Manxify it somewhat.
That's right. We always try and get a Bagain or two in.
OK, so tell us a bit more about the performance and the wonderful cast and crew we have sat down here in front of us.
Well, we have got our Wicked Queen, Frida, who you heard performing, or you'll hear performing. We have got Snow White, who's Sage, and we've got our miners.
Where and when's it going to be going on then? So is it actually going to be going on here at the Bunskull, or are you taking it elsewhere?
No. Last year, for the first time, we took our production to Peel, to the Centenary Centre, where we did a Manx version of the Jungle Book. And it was so wonderful having proper lighting and the wings that we decided that we had to do it again. So we're back in Peel, and it's this Thursday and Friday evening. Doors open 6:30, and the show starts at 7. It's about an hour.
Oh, gosh. And so there's still seats available, I believe?
There are a few seats available, but we're cutting it fine now. You have to go to the Bunskull Gilgach Facebook page for a link to the electronic ticket system. OK, so don't hang around if you are interested.
Now then, who's looking forward to it?
Me!
That's fairly unanimous then. And who would like to tell me a little bit about their characters? OK, well, I'll tell you, you're here first and I'll whiz round. So you give me your name and tell me your character.
So I am the prince and my name is Ferris. So my character is obviously a prince.
Yep.
And he's
one of the goodies anyway.
Yes, he's a good character. He saves Snow White. Brings her back to life. Yes. And
are you enjoying it?
Yes, I do.
You do. That's the main thing. Right. Who's next round the table here? Oh, hang on.
One thing I would like to mention is that when the children are telling you about the part, it's actually really difficult thinking about what they're doing in Manx and then translating it into English for you, because everything that they're doing something that's really amazing, because they've not only learned all of their lines and all of their songs, they've learned it all in their second language. And so it's quite hard dredging up the English to describe it.
Absolutely. Well, it's just as well because I couldn't do it in Manx. Right, who's next? Right, round here. Oh, we'll go around this side. Okay. And who are you?
I'm Cara and I play the mirror.
The mirror. Okay, so tell us a bit more about that.
So the evil queen is asking me every day, is she the most beautiful? Is she the most graceful? And the mirror always says yes, but only one time where he thinks, no, I'm going to stand up and say she's a fish.
Oh, my goodness. Are you enjoying it as well?
Yes, it's very fun.
Do you get to do a song?
Yes, I am a second character. I am a villager, and I play this song, which is kind of it's a very, very bluesy song.
Oh, that sounds good. That sounds good. Let's go around the table. Who's next? Come down here. All right, couple down here. Quick word to you.
So I'm Olivia and I'm one of the miners. I'm shy, and I think that's what it's called. Yeah. But and I'm just shy all the time.
Oh gosh, you're not shy now. That's the main thing, and you're not shy at all because we've heard your voice. Lovely.
I'm Frida and I'm playing the Wicked Witch, and every day I go and look in the mirror glass and I ask, am I the fairest of them all? And obviously Cara always said yes, but one time, as she was saying, she said she changed it up a bit, and then I got angry. That's why I sang that solo, because I realised the huntsman that I sent out into the woods didn't kill her. So I go to buy an apple and I kill her.
Oh my goodness! So you're the baddie.
Yeah, I am the baddie.
So what do you think about playing the baddies then? Is that good fun, or do you think, do you want to be the goodie?
Well, I quite like acting.
Yeah.
Because when I'm older, I want to be an actress. So it's fun to be able to be in different places. Like you could, because when you're nice, you can be yourself. But when you're not nice, when you're evil, you get to show how you can act to be different than who.
Absolutely. Proper acting. I tell you what, I think it's always more fun playing the baddie, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is. Right, who else we got around here? Okay, quick word here.
I'm Freya and I play Sneezy, and as my name suggests, I sneeze a lot.
Fantastic. Give us a sneeze.
Achoo!
Fantastic. Was that in Manx or English? I couldn't tell.
I don't know, but I sneeze a lot. Most of my lines include sneezing, which I find very fun, and I'm very silly. I almost wake up Snow White, and I get shushed because they think there's a giant in our house, and everyone shushes me.
I tell you, well, it's all that sneezing, isn't it? All that sneezing. Okay, well, quick rip round the other side of the table. And what about you, sir? Who are you playing?
My name is Ethan, and I'm playing the clock, and I tell the time.
Oh gosh, the clock, right? So it's a talking clock.
Yes.
In Manx, of course.
Yes.
Your friend next to you here?
I'm the Began, and I just randomly run on and do stupid stuff.
As the Began.
Yeah.
So you get to chase people?
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Oh, it's fantastic. Do you have to roar as well, or do you have to say anything in Manx or English?
I have quite a few lines. Oh. And the main person I hate, he's called Tom. I don't really know why I hate him. I just do. You just do.
So you're another sort of baddie character then, are you?
No, not really. I'm pretty good.
Hi, my name's William and I'm the huntsman. I get sent out in the forest to kill Snow White, but then that person over there, the more to do, scares me off.
Yay, see, you've got a role in life. Yeah,
but
well
then
done.
I catch him later on.
You catch him later on?
Yeah.
Well, you are a huntsman, aren't you? You've got to do it.
I'm Bishu and I play one of the miners, and I'm Toot, so I'm the stupid one.
The stupid one?
Yeah. Kind of.
No, never. You're crazy one. Do you have to do silly things then?
Yeah.
Okay, and where's Snow White? Snow White, we better have a word with Snow White before we go, hadn't we? Because it is all about Snow White. So you get to play Snow White. So you are the main character from the point of view of the play. Is that a great part to have?
Yeah, it's a new thing for me because like all the other plays I've been like kind of a backup thing, but this year I kind of decided to be a more like bigger part.
Oh goodness me, is that challenging?
Yeah, I guess, but it's also like fun to do something different.
Yes, yeah. And have you got some solos or songs to sing?
Yeah, I've got 2 solos.
And what about learning lines? I mean, I always find it a real problem learning lines for plays. Do you find it easy enough?
Kind of. It's not easy, but it's like not extremely hard either.
No.
Like, yeah. So, like, the first time you kind of like do like a rehearsal on stage, because you're so kind of like it's like different. You kind of just forget all your lines when you go on, and when you go off, it all comes back to you. And
That's always the way.
Yeah, when you go back on it, you forget them again. So.
And of course, everyone else seems to be enjoying it. It looks like a very happy cast you've got here. Are you enjoying it as well?
Yeah, definitely.
We've got 2 Munjaverga who
Yep.
come on and find the actor band in the forest, and they're very argumentative, and it might be nice just to have a bit of the to and fro in Manx as they
Let's
chat
do
to
it.
each other.
Let's do it. Here we go.
Well, Holland. Kiritash and Jinu Mary. Well, Hibben Henelfisem. Ligdun Braik Jowsen. Pappy Son Grashen. Jinaesht. Us Hojak. Her name, Mish Hojak. Shenda do it me. Renu. Oh, can't deliver Mish Hojak.
Great stuff. Well, listen, great to see everyone. And what was that break a leg again?
Brish Lurger.
Brish Lurger to everyone. What a wonderful sound they make, and rest assured that not only, as Aileen points out, are the students already highly bilingual, put me to shame, there's also some real talent and confidence there, as I'm sure you could tell. If only I had as much. If you want to go, you might be lucky. Just a few tickets left, available via the link on the Bunskull Facebook page. Great stuff. Now, if you're interested in the arts, and if you're listening to this programme, chances are you are, have you ever considered becoming a member of the Arts Council itself and actually helping to make a real difference to the arts community on the island? As we mentioned last week, if you are, well, there's a chance for you to get directly involved, as the council is currently seeking new members. Arts Development Manager Jane Corkle told me more.
Yes, the Arts Council is looking for 2 new members. Council members serve a term of 4 years, and we've got 2 members who have served their terms, and for various personal reasons they are both leaving the council. So there are 2 new spots, and we are madly keen looking for 2 new members of the Arts Council.
Right, talk us through the process then.
Well, it's an open application, and you can find the applications on our website, www.iomarts.com. Simple application form. We ask for some details. We want to know a little bit about you, a little bit about what your connection is to the arts in the Isle of Man. It's not, you don't need any kind of massive level of qualification. We're looking for people who are passionate about the arts. We're looking for people who do have experience locally, not necessarily professionally either, to join the Arts Council team. And there's an interview process, and you may be lucky.
You might be, you might not. And the actual process itself, then, who chooses? Is it as a committee? How is the actual decision made on the new members?
There is an interview panel, and that is with which includes the chair of the Arts Council, who's currently Mrs. Sarah Maltby, MHK, the vice chair of the council, and potentially myself or another officer.
How important do you think these roles are for the arts on the island?
I think they're really, really vital. We are really lucky with our Arts Council members because it is a volunteer post, so these people give up their time. But the Arts Council members directly feed into and develop the National Strategy for Culture and the Arts in the Isle of Man, which is a Tynwald approved strategy, and they deal with the funding applications that come in. And what that does is that provides the lifeblood, really, for so much of the arts and creativity on the Isle of Man.
What sort of level of commitment are we talking about then? Because I'm sure people thinking, oh, this could be, it might be up my street. However, I've only got a certain amount of time. How much time, sort of realistically, would you say any potential new members would have to commit to the role?
So Arts Council members attend, obviously, full council meetings. There are approximately 10 of those a year. And they last maybe 2 to 3 hours. When we have new members of the council come in, we do talk to the council members. Currently, the meetings tend to be on a Friday afternoon every kind of 6-7 weeks or so. But there's always scope for moving that. It's not set in stone. Because obviously we recognise that people are giving up their time and people have other commitments and jobs, etc., etc. So as a body, the council will work out what time and day suits them best. Council members are sometimes invited to various events that have been funded by the Arts Council, for example. Again, they choose individually whether they'd like to go if an invitation comes in. So really, they do a little bit of background work, obviously, with applications. So it's not a massive commitment, but it's a really rewarding commitment.
And do you try to get within the council a sort of a spread of, sort of different interests? So some people might be coming from a musical background, some from a visual arts, maybe some from performance arts, that sort of thing, or does it more go on individual sort of values, as it were?
Definitely the spread of art form is really important. And we don't know who will apply. So again, that will sort of, it's chicken and egg, really. But we do like to have a fair spread. Obviously, we get applications in from all art forms. So we'd like to think that everything is as well represented as it possibly can be.
And all ages welcome, sort of 18 upwards?
Absolutely. All ages welcome. It's welcome to anybody.
And then if he or she is successful, when would they actually take up the role?
So the retiring council members, they finish at the September meeting. So that would be from September onwards. We would look to be interviewing probably end of July, August. And then the new members, I would hope, would probably come along to the September meeting to sort of dip their toes in the Arts Council waters for the first time.
And if you were going to say one thing that was going to tempt someone listening to this and thinking, I don't know, it could be me, they might be a little bit worried, they might be thinking it's a bit too formal for them, what would you say to sort of, someone listening to this and sort of humming and hawing?
I would say, firstly, get in touch and come and talk to us if you're interested. But I'd also say that I think all the council members would tell you that it's really rewarding. They get a lot out of it. Not only that, they are a really great bunch of people, and they come from all sorts of different backgrounds, and they have some really fantastic discussions and debates about the arts. And if you are into the arts in any way, this is your place.
Now, be honest now, are the meetings, can they get heated?
Well, that would be telling. They're like a good, healthy discussion. Let's put it that way. But all in a good way. And all for the benefit of the arts.
Excellent. So there we go. Just remind us then of the closing date and where people go in the first instance to get the details.
So the closing date is the 19th of July, and you can find details on our website, www.iomarts.com, or you can just get in contact with us. We sort of, our home is in the Villa Marina Arcade. So if you're passing by and fancy pop in, we're here 9 to 5 during the week, or give us a ring, 694 598. Get in touch, come and have a chat.
Sounds like an opportunity to me. Don't hang around though, as Jane says. Closing date's just over a week away, Friday the 19th of July.
Spotlight, brought to you by the Isle of Man Arts Council.
Now, it's not often we cover punk on Spotlight, but there's clearly and absolutely no reason why we shouldn't. And when MR's Christy de Haven asked if I knew there was a 10-hour punk extravaganza coming up this weekend, well, my mohican pricked up. Manx Punks is a DIY collective who promote live gigs on the Isle of Man, as well as organising events for local bands. They bring bands over from the UK and Ireland. CDH spoke to one of the founders, Twist, to find out more about the scene. Matt Twist, I believe it is. Twist will do, though. And also the forthcoming 10-hour punk extravaganza at the Outback.
But it's been going on for about 11 years was when we first put on a gig. It was mainly because there wasn't a lot of music for us. There was some really good bands going on, but nothing that we were really looking for. I mean, the Isle of Man's always really had a good metal scene, but there wasn't enough punk going on for us, and there wasn't enough originals. So that's when we decided we'll just start our own bands and bring people over. Very DIY ethos, I guess.
And now, if you look at it now, 11 years on, how's the scene?
It's definitely better than it was 11 years ago. It's great. There's new bands popping up every other week. It's great seeing some of the new bands. Dysfunction Junction for one of them. Croto are doing absolutely amazing. And it's so weird that just all this started just from me and Mike having a drunken conversation like, hey, let's start a band. Let's bring a band over, let's see what happens there.
And now you're touring everywhere, you've got you're making friends with some of your idols. I mean, it's pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is pretty cool. And that's obviously where this Manx Punks All Day has come about. We'll talk about that in just a moment, but there's a whole scutch of bands. I think, is it how many different bands, just out of interest?
I think
roughly?
We've got 12 bands on
12
in
bands.
total.
So Twist, that's off Naked Headline, that is Parasite. They're going to be playing at this Manx Punks All Day. Tell us about this. When is this happening and what's the kind of idea behind it?
It's happening on the 13th of July. It's happening at the Outback. What we realised was with loads of the local bands going touring across, recording, we'd been a bit lax, to be honest, with putting on local gigs. And of course, your local fan base, that's your bread and butter. That's what you want to keep going for. So we just ended up having an idea. It was like, let's see how big of a gig that we can physically put on. And then it was a bit rushed, to be fair, because then we realised what date that we could do it on. And we were like, okay, we've got 2 months to book everything, plan everything, promote everything. Credits to Jenny. She's been absolute gem help with us. It's been a long 2 months, to be honest.
But you're nearly there.
So close.
And you know what? When you see all these bands, you are going to be so pleased. I'm sure you are, and no doubt absolutely going nuts when you see them. And is it right? Over 10 hours of bands. Is that
right? So we'll be starting at 12 o'clock. So an early start. So make sure that you get a lie in and don't go too crazy on the Friday. All the way up until about 10 o'clock is when we'll be stopping and starting to pack down. So Outback will be open as usual for its club night afterwards. We've got 2 stages, so we'll have one at the main dance floor, one upstairs in the smoking deck area.
Obviously not playing at the same time.
No. So we've done well. We've kind of balanced it. So we'll have one band playing, and then as soon as they finish, the next band will be on.
Yeah.
So a lot of steps, so that's really good. Get your pedometers
in. I mean, you're going to get people fit and healthy doing this as well, especially if they're moshing too. So, you're kind of jumping around all over the place because you've got to jump around
make
when
sure
you
see
stretch. These bands. Yeah, stretching the bands, exactly, especially for us oldies. Right, well, speaking of oldies, we're going to play some youngies now because you mentioned Croto. Now, I've played these guys before. They are so talented and so young.
They're absolutely great. It's one young bands that you get to see that they just inspire, like, even the older generations, like, wow, this is still going on at this level. Like, it's just beautiful to see. Yeah. That kind of energy and that raw, I don't know, teenage angst or something like that.
That's the thing, because, well, there's always space for punk music, isn't there? Because it is an expression of, you know, sort of all that sort of rage, all that anger against anyone or anything. It is such an excellent way to kind of get that out there and get a message out as well. So, you know, kind of works on that front. So we're going to play, what we're going to do, we're going to play a bit of each of the bands that we've got here, because I know we've got like 4 or 5 we want to fit in and we're not going to have time for all of them. So we're just going to do about 1.5 minutes of each of the bands. And then for those of you that are listening, don't worry, we're going to put the full songs on the podcast, okay? So you'll get to hear the full songs on the podcast after the show, but we want you to hear as much as we can. So I'm going to stop talking, obviously, and play Croto. This is Say the Word.
bit of Croto to finish off there. Great sound. Tickets to the 10-hour Punk Extravaganza, £20 in advance, I believe. You can get the details on Manx Punk's Facebook page. It's great to feature something a bit different, isn't it, on Spotlight? As I say every week, we're here to celebrate all forms of artistic output on the Isle of Man. The wider the spectrum, the better, as far as I'm concerned. All you have to do is get in touch. Spotlight@manxradio.com. That's about it this week. Don't forget, if you want to hear anything again, go to manxradio.com, download the Spotlight podcast and listen where and when you want. Why not try it whilst drying out your wetsuit after a nice summer's evening walk in one of the island's glens. See you next week when we'll be hearing more about this year's Litfest. Until then, look after yourselves and whatever you're doing, be creative about it. Cheerio.